What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn with an update for you. Welcome back, summer, and with summertime comes some summer fish keeping. Doing my best to keep you guys in the loop. I'm showing you how that shrimp tank is coming along, and if you zoom in, you can see that things are quite lively in there. It's been about a month now, and the tank has taken on a life of its own. I got a few species of, well, let me just bring you in for a closer look.
From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh ha ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh ha ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh!
Well, when I say this tank has come to life, I definitely mean this tank has come to life. And if you don't know how it started, please take that time right now and click subscribe so that you can be abreast of everything that's going on with the various projects. And maybe something that I'm doing will help you do what you're doing, and we can learn together. So anyway, you can see I have my beautiful Ember Tetras, which I've very much grown, very fond of. These guys just bring the whole tank to life. I mean, I never really was a fan of them, but they're so lively. They're always in the front. They always come out, and they're just really hardy fish. When the tank was cycling, I did lose a couple of fish. If I take you down a little bit, you'll see that I have some pygmy cories, which I've always had a difficult time, including this time, just keeping them going. I bought a group of 6, and I believe I have 4 now. I lost 2 like right off the bat in acclimation. I don't know why. I know the tank was cycling and did go through a spike, but I'm really happy that these guys made it. And one of the ways that I did that is I actually got a recommendation that I brought some blanched oak leaves. These guys need to feed on film, and they need a lot of vegetable matter, so I've been feeding them oak leaves that I have sitting outside in a bucket of water, rainwater, not tap water, but in rainwater, and they've just were able to sink down to the tank, and I found that this has definitely made a difference in the health of those fish. I've really been able to say that I haven't lost any more. I've had these guys for 2 weeks now. They're going on strong, and I'm just happy that I found that out when I found that out. It's definitely helped me out, and I haven't lost any more since then. The other fish that I added is I have some beautiful autocinkless cats. This is Mama Bear right here. She's the biggest one. I'm assuming that's a female. And I have 4 of those, if I'm not mistaken. I wanted to get like 6, like at least keep a breeding group. I don't remember if I have 5 or 4, but I definitely have 4 of these guys. And Mama Bear is the biggest. The others are always in this little spot over here, cleaning off the rock. And that was another one of the very important points to make in getting this tank cycled and started. I didn't want to get any fish that would bother my shrimp, because remember, this is primarily a shrimp tank. I know you don't see the shrimp, but there's actually one right here. They're always darting in and out. There's so much cover, but if you look real close, then you'll see one of the reds have just peeked out, and he's also filming, I call it filming, but eating that film off of those leaves. And I did end up with a whole bunch of snails, which I didn't plan on. Yes, I got one of those Petco plants, and surprise, it had a whole bunch of shrimp. Snail eggs, not shrimp eggs. I wish I had shrimp eggs. Snail eggs on it. So what are you gonna do? At some point, they'll make their way. They're those little tiny ones that really annoy me because they're so fast. But they are actually part of the living cycle and the ecosystem of the tank, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. One of the other things that has been a key is I'm feeding the Hikari sinking wafers. The Hikari sinking wafers have been a favorite of the pygmy sunfish. I'm all over the place. The pygmy cories, these algae wafers, they really bring the fish out to the front of the tank, and I feed them in one place. I don't feed them all over the tank because I want them to come out, and I want to have everybody present and accounted for. So I feed those wafers in one spot, and that is right here. That is right here in the what I call designated feeding area. I don't want food all over the tank. This way it's easy to clean. I know that I'm just going to vacuum this little area over here, and I leave the moam and everything how it is. I'll probably siphon that out with my once a week water changes. I also have a glass dish, which I'll zoom out. Right there. Now you can see all my junk. Here I have the glass dish right here. Thank you, Liz, for recommending that, one of our Brooklyn Aquarium Society members. I feed the sinking pellets as well as the sinking wafers in one place, so this way the shrimp always come out to the same spot to feed. The auto sinklets always come out to the same spot to feed, and I kind of keep attendance on everybody that's in there. So thank you, Liz. That was a great idea. And what it is it's just a shrimp feeding tube that goes way above the water level, and it just forces the food to sink way slowly down into one place, and it definitely helps keep the tank nice and clean. I don't end up with detritus all over the place, and I'm happy about that because I've seen these things all the time, and I never thought about actually purchasing one, but since then I've actually learned to love it. Now let's talk about the plants. Right now the star of the show is this kabamba, which has grown. It's planted actually in the back corner of the tank, way in the back, and it has grown all the way to the front. I've already cut it like twice. I'm going to put some of it in the tub outside, but it's definitely loving this stratum substrate. Everything is growing pretty nice. I am losing a couple of leaves on the sword. I have two varieties of sword, which if I remember those names, I'll put them right here in a little text box. But this one here is finally losing one of the leaves. I'm gonna just let that break down, because that's also one of the things that the auto sinklets and the shrimp feed on, is that dying leaf matter, the leaf litter. So I'm gonna leave that in there. The Java fern has been doing good. I glued it in place. It came loose a couple of times with me having my hands in the tank, but I got a couple of groups of Java fern. They're doing pretty nicely in there. And I have a Vallisneria in the back. As you can see, the Val is doing pretty nice. I never had any problem with Val, but I'm an inch away from adding my CO2 canister. I have a liquid CO2 canister that I'm going to add to this tank, which is why you see the CO2 diffuser in the earlier portion, and you'll also see that I have a drip checker behind my pH monitor. All of these things was because it was a rough start. The fish did fine, but I want to monitor the ammonia level in the tank, and I'm monitoring the pH. I'm going to add a temperature probe to this tank and connect it to the hydros, because I have a spare port in which I can add the temperature probe, as well as I may add another pH probe, but I really don't need a pH probe because I have the drip checker. I'll bring it around so you can see that. Yeah, so the drip checker is well hidden behind the ammonia checker, and as you can see, it's in the safe zone just while the tank is setting out. And since I haven't really focused on shrimp before, I want to make sure that I'm doing everything to try to maintain and monitor any changes in the tank, because most of the time people buy shrimp, they complain, oh, my shrimp die after a couple of days, or I have problems with keeping them and things like that. So I'm trying to follow the advice of those that know, not the internet, but those that I meet in person and I know have a proven success rate. And I know a few people in the club, including Liz, that I've already mentioned, are constantly having success with various types of shrimp and things like that. So you want to definitely take advice from people with proven success, and not afraid to show you the failures, because if someone tells you they never failed, I probably go to the next person, because I never believe that. Even pros and seasoned, there are no pros, but even seasoned fish keepers have errors and make mistakes. So the tank is doing good. I thought I'd bring you guys for the 1 month update. I believe it's concluding 1 month, and the tank is doing good. And mind you, I'm not running the CO2 yet, but I will shortly, because I do want to see some lush plant growth, even though I'm seeing it now. I know the swords tend to kind of struggle once they start utilizing all of the soil substrate, or rather the fertilizer in the soil starts going kind of depleted. This plant, I actually forgot the name of it. If anybody remembers the name of this plant, I got this at our friends at Brooklyn Zoo and Aquarium on Ralph Avenue in Brooklyn, and it is taken off. One of the few plants that really just took off since I put it in there. It was way below this rock, and it is now growing up to the surface. I'm definitely gonna have to trim that. I don't want it like crowding the whole front of the tank, but it's a pretty tank addition, and the shrimp really love it. And it's funny because I have probably like a dozen shrimp in there, and they all up in this wood, and I'm seeing like one at a time rather than having like a group of them come out. But this guy, I just picked up a couple of red cherries at Fish Addicts over here on Flatbush Avenue. And the reason I did that is because different shrimp from different places just were showing some weird colors. And I do have to admit, I lost a few shrimp in the early stages of this tank, and I have to chalk that up to me not allowing the tank to cycle with the appropriate amount of time. Went through an ammonia spike, and these shrimp are very sensitive to changes in the water parameters. You can see I got my aqua clear running, doing a great job. The water's clear. I'm doing water changes of about 30 to 40% once a week. I'm gonna probably do this one tomorrow when I get back in, and just keep those levels under control. I want to keep the temperature within a decent range too. I don't want to get too hot in here. Right now it's in the mid 70s, but the room is actually hot. The lights, nothing special. Still using the lights that I had over the reef. I actually didn't change the settings on the light. I'll probably dim it down a little bit because I don't want this. I had a hair algae issue for like a couple of days, and then thank God it went away as the tank kind of stabilized. And I did add some quick start to the tank. My friends over there, quick start, added that into the tank to make sure that it was in the appropriate level of bacteria, and everything is looking good. So I'm happy to report things are progressing nicely. I'm really happy. It's funny that the shrimp tank, and I'm really focused on these pygmy cories because I never kept pygmy cories before, and they're not bothering the shrimp. If anybody else has any opinion, I was told that those are probably the safest corridors to keep with shrimp without worrying about them eating the babies. So far so good. The auto sinkless seem to just stick to the wood and the leaves and the wafers. So till next time, we're gonna leave you at that. I'm happy to share the successes and errors with you. Maybe you guys are working on a tank similar. Maybe you want to start a tank of your own, or maybe you have some advice that may be something that I'm missing. But anyway, leave everything in the comments below. I try to answer all your questions, and I take advice when I can get it, because my goal is to go to bed smarter than when I got up this morning. So until next time, this is D from Brooklyn, giving you the update on that shrimp cube. The 10-gallon is doing very well. Next update will be the Nano SPS tank. The Nano tank is doing very well, fighting some issues over there as usual, but que sera, sera. Love, peace, and hair grease, everybody. See ya.